Hello, this is Dr. J back with some more Let's Play Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp Blind here on the final mission of the Black Hole Rising campaign. Final Front, 8-star difficulty. Sturm, we're coming for you. Three, 5, 40 days. Oh wow, we have a time limit this mission. That's pretty different from the final mission of the first campaign. Death Ray. The Death Ray. Oh boy. Is this going to be something else to shoot at me from across the map so that I forget it's there and I put units in its line of fire? And it doesn't even hurt enemy units. Oh boy. Oh, it doesn't fire very often though, apparently. So it's going to fire like 4 times then. I will not forget. But will I forget? Okay, who are we deploying? I think I want to just not mess around and just deploy my best troops. Which is probably Max and Grit. And let's do Eagle. I still wish it could be Max and Grit and Colin. Colin's ability to spam is just so good. I may take one look at the map and decide this is a terrible lineup of COs to pick. We'll see. Okay, looks surprisingly normal from this little section I can see.
Oh man.
Look who showed up.
Yep, it's the people who have beaten you repeatedly, and we're gonna do it again.
You're really back for more after last time?
Exactly. That's an incredibly accurate description of Sonya, actually. The first sentence, I mean. The class president who likes playing with soldiers. We also have the fashion model who likes playing with soldiers. And we have, I don't know, Russian Santa Claus. His younger brother, anyway. Oh, you have no rejoinder to that one, Olaf. By our powers combined! And we've got Pork Chop.
Oh my gosh!
It's a Death Ray.
Oh dear.
Copy.
All right, yeah.
So, destroy the laser, that's our objective.
Worms. I've seen this strategy before, and the strategy you're thinking of replacing it with, and the replacement for that.
Very strange inflection you have there, Sturm.
I am warfare incarnate. The best you can do is choose a maneuver that might briefly postpone your defeat.
You just got the most consecutively voice-acted lines of any character in the game. Well done, Sturm. And with that, it begins. Okay, what are we up against? Okay, yeah, I think Death Ray is a reasonable description of this thing. Our objective is to destroy it, you say. Destroy the Death Ray within 30 days. Wow, that time limit. That has me nervous. And there's a giant missile, which is just there for decoration. Okay, and it looks like Sturm has easy access to a whole lot of smaller missiles. There's mini cannons everywhere, a couple of black cannons that it's guaranteed I'm going to forget they're there and take a lot of hits. Looks like Drake would be a bad CO for this. There's very little water. Outside of that, it kind of looks like I could make decent use out of just about any CO composition, really. In fact, it's so wide open, it's even a decent map for infantry flooding, isn't it? Kind of looks that way. He says. Just getting the lay of land. Sturm starts with nothing, but he's going to be able to build an insane amount of stuff because he's got tons of properties and factories, so we're getting it flooded right away, that much is for sure. Just trying to decide if I'm happy with the COs I picked. You know, I'm not sure having a lot of long-range artillery is all that important here, actually, because I can't outrange these anyway. Okay, so this fires in a 3-column line down the center of the map. Every 7 days. I think I'm going to make some changes, actually, to my lineup. Now that I've had a look at the map. This is clearly going to take forever, so I'm just going to preemptively turn the animations off for this. We've seen them so many times, I think that'll be fine. No, Colin, we're just selecting different COs. Calm down. Yeah, I know. I'm definitely going to have to deal with them.
Of course.
Come on!
I don't want to smash them up close necessarily, maybe with a bunch of bombers. So here's what I'm thinking. This looks like a great spam kind of map because it's so wide open, and thank God it doesn't look like there's too much in the way of obnoxious choke points. I mean, there's some of that really close to the target, but it doesn't look like it's going to be anything as bad as it was in Mission 32. I hope not. Hopefully I won't eat those words. So, I have a pretty good excuse to use my waifu with a lot of infantry spam. I have a good excuse to use my boy Colin with a lot of everything spam. I'm going to stick with Eagle for really powerful bombers. For taking out the cannons. I think that'll be a good call.
Let's soar.
Let's go. And also, his lightning strike is just so good. Getting to take 2 consecutive turns is incredible. Alright, Sammy, let's do it. Start by capturing as much stuff as possible. And Colin likewise. And Eagle. This is new music. This isn't Sturm's normal theme. We only got to hear a few notes of it, but that was very epic sounding. I liked it. You know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to temporarily turn animations on. The chances of leaving them on for the whole mission are remote, because I'm sure this is going to be a long one. But I'll leave them on at least at first. Oh, right, I have to end her turn. And, duh, I want to build more infantry. Let's not derp too hard here. Getting ahead of myself. Maybe a transport chopper. And maybe one here as well. So it seems like a single attempt... Well, I was going to say it seems like a single attempt can't go on too long because of the 30-day time limit, but given just how much crap is going to be swarming around the map, actually, 30 turns once this ramps up could take a long time. It won't shock me if we get another 3-hour extravaganza, but I'm more prepared for it this time. Yeah, let's make a... No, not a battle copter. That's not what I wanted. My bad. Wrong type of chopper. Transport. I think one, maybe two transport choppers. Actually, hang on. Oh. Okay, I'm glad I checked. Capturing these early is actually not a good strategy. Well, maybe I'll find a use for those. Hopefully that wasn't a total waste of money. Don't mind if I take these Sturm. Maybe one more? And what else? I should probably start building stuff immediately. And I'm just going to want to spam. Okay, if you're going to be building aircraft, let's get an AA. Colin is going to spam so much stuff. It's going to be unbelievable. Oh, are these going to be in range? No, these are in the blind spot. Actually, that doesn't even count as a blind spot. They're just not even close to being in range. But multiple artillery, huh? That could make capturing these a challenge. Maybe I'll save up for a bomber. Or I could just get a battle copter right away. That'll help deal with that. Eagle's job is not spam. Eagle's job is just to get enough properties to where he can, well, spam bombers, but not spam 80 billion units like I plan to do with Colin and Sammy. By the way, what does Sturm's power level start out at? Empty, okay. I don't think we'll have to worry about getting meteor striked for a while then. What to do with those transport choppers? Well, Have her take another couple of factories. Take those factories up there, I guess. Split them between her and the allies to our east and west. Let's prepare some mech spam. I see that pipe seam there. That's interesting. What else? What's coming at Colin? The chopper, infantry, a medium tank. Can't quite afford 2 tanks. I don't think. No, not quite. We'll get another one next turn. I guess you're not going to be capturing anything right away. That'll deal with it. Oh, we also have a missile down here. Do we have one on the other side as well? Yes, useful. Let's keep that in mind. Other than that, save up some money, I think. Oh, it's a remix of Sturm's Ordinary theme. A more intense remix. He has so much money. And he's going to seize that stuff in the middle. I can't do much about it. Well, I could set up artillery there. Might be a little late, though. Maybe not. Let's see, a regular artillery has a range of 2 to 3. 2, 3. Yeah, regular artillery could do it. So I don't need the missile artillery, which are slow and expensive. Ah, and the choppers could deliver some mechs to that line a little faster. So I think I found use for them. They already had dudes in them, I'm an idiot. That's right, I had another job for them. Why am I derping so hard with Sammy's turn? Derp-a-derp. Remember, although Sammy's direct combat vehicles are nerfed, her indirect combat isn't, so her artillery will work just fine. Okay. Alright, they're coming for us. And let's not carelessly go into range of this thing. Wow, that range. So the line, basically, the corner is right here. Let's get a cheap medium, budget medium. I'm ready for you. Bring it. Where's this extra infantry even going to go? I guess he can help reinforce this line. Or, could pick him up, drop him off here for an early missile launch. I kind of like that plan. Now, Eagles has the issue that Sturm built artillery, so Eagle's having to wait to cap those two cities up there. It's a little annoying, but what can you do? Fortunately, he doesn't have anti-air here, so... Battle chopper, but wait. You almost got me, Sturm. You almost got me. Okay, I can't attack it without being in range. Alright, I'll wait for his artillery to come a little closer then. Fine. Could also plan an early missile launch, but I don't think I'm going to need two. I don't want to waste them. I'm not sure I'm even going to need the one. Can I save up for a bomber? Or make another chopper? What's his current income? Green Earth's current income is 9,000. So next turn we'll have 24,000, which is enough to build a bomber. So yeah, I'll save up for that. And this guy still has to wait. Oh, actually, he needs to back off. What you got for us now, Sturm? Okay, I knew he'd start capping that. I've got artillery on the way to have words about it. That's fine, I'll spam mechs. Mech spam will counter a tank just fine. A bomber, huh? Cullen needs more anti-air then. Wow, he's sending a lot of stuff Cullen's way. Oh geez, a Neo tank. Cullen, you've got issues, buddy. I could leave this transport chopper here to tempt the AA and the enemy attack copter into attacking them. Let's see. Bomber, huh? I want to have Sammy churn out some anti-air to go help Colin. He's got issues. And some mech spam. Finish capping this. Yeah, this looks a lot easier to handle over on Eagle's side. I think maybe I'll send this transport chopper to the west as another target to help Colin. Okay, Colin, you got a fight on your hands. Fight, kid. Give it everything you got. I may just have to sacrifice this AA to do some damage to this attack chopper. Alright, that helped. Down to 5 HP is a good improvement. Ooh, an artillery. That's annoying. I'll have to wait to cap the next city until the artillery moves, I guess. So you wait right there. Maybe I should fire a preemptive missile? Just because Colin is coming under early pressure. I don't have a great set of targets yet. That's not awful. Damaging a bomber and a medium and the transport chopper is kind of inconsequential, but... Can't get both of those without doing friendly fire. Oh, I'm really waffling on this. I should probably wait until I have more things to shoot at. Oh, he was in the middle of capping anyway, so... I'm glad that I didn't interrupt him. That would have been foolish. That said, I now have an infantry in this. I might want to have somebody on standby for the missile launch, but that's basically this guy, so... Tell you what, you're going to be another tasty target for the enemy units. The transport chopper is. So they'll attack you instead of other things. As well as... There we go. Deliver an infantry to help out a little. And what else? What else? Another anti-air, maybe? Now things are already heating up over here. I think this guy can finally start some capturing. The artillery have moved far enough away. And we can start hitting Sturm's artillery. Oh wait, did I go into range? I sure did. I got a little overeager. Hold up, that was a bad call. At least I thought of it. Let's hit the regular artillery then instead of the missile artillery. Oh, those black cannons, man. Hit this. You might as well help. Let's hold up a second. Do you have any good targets? No. You'd only be able to hit like 2 things. That would be a waste of a missile. Alright, let's get a bomber. That'll be good for dealing with a bunch of oncoming artillery and a tank. It will handle all those things. You can tell Eagle's not the spam character. Having him save up and buy expensive things. He does not have as many units as my other 2. That's fine, I expected that. That doesn't even matter because of Sammy's improved capture. This could matter. Okay, well, yeah. Now it matters. Okay, you were literally there to be a target, so way to do your job. You likewise. Very good. You're a fool, Sturm. You're a clown. It's fun exploiting the AI's weird propensity for targeting transports. He's delivering a lot of infantry to the front. It begins. It begins in earnest. Show him what you got, Sammy. Eat Sammy mech spam. Nice. Okay. Now I can't move too far forward or I'll just get obliterated by these. But move to there and you're gonna block for it. That's gonna go help Colin. You're healing up. Move here to heal up, you're in the way a little bit. You guys have done your jobs, basically. Could build more transport choppers for rapid transport. We've got the money for it. And decoys. There, quickly deliver more men to the front. How about another artillery combined with a little more mech spam? I'll admit I am wondering if Sensei would have been even better. Imagine all the infantry we could conjure with this and the powered up battle choppers. If we fail, I'll probably swap out Sensei in Sammy's place and see if that works better. But we'll see. I think we might be able to get it done with this lineup. I also think it's time for that preemptive missile strike now. That's a lot of stuff coming that we're going to struggle to handle this early on. That'll help a little. Still waiting on the artillery to move far enough away we can capture that. Still don't want to get in this thing's range if we don't have to. So we're just kind of waiting for the enemy to come to us, unfortunately. And yeah, well, is that... That is an anti-air. I guess you can move up 2 to be a target, but not for the anti-air, because that would be pointless. Attack this. Sorry, I have to check this a lot. I quickly forget what it's targeting. Oh, and this is going to fire soon. Oh god. I forgot about that. Uh-oh. Sammy might be about to get wrecked. Because I kind of forgot about that. No, I didn't mean to make that attack. That was an accident. Oh well, it's not a big deal, but... We need another anti-air. Wish I could redo Sammy's turn and move her stuff out of the way. Everyone else just wait around, I guess. Or build another tank. Let's save up for a medium, we're almost there. Nice. There, you'll be a target, because the enemy loves to prioritize capturing infantry as well. Ah, you can't quite make it. What else to build with Eagle? And of course we want to capture some stuff. Any other good missile targets? I could weaken this up even more, just to really soften Sturm's initial punch. Why not? Why not? This may be a little wasteful, but as I always say, I'd rather use something when it's available and do some good with it than wait for a perfect opportunity that never comes. Now, save up for another air unit or build something out of this factory to get in the fight right away. Let's save up for another bomber. Oh boy, Sammy's about to take it in the face. I'm sorry, Sammy, I forgot. Oh no. Oh wow. That was a bad mistake on my part. Ugh. Good thing it's mostly cheap units. Okay, you guys literally were placed there specifically for that purpose. I should have built another infantry at that factory. Oh well, too late now. No big deal there. Also not a big deal in those decoys doing their jobs. That was basically dead anyway. But Colin gets so sad when he loses a unit. Oh boy. That was rough. Sammy's whole army was destroyed by that, basically. That was a bad mistake by me forgetting about that. I knew I would. I totally knew it. Well, at least I can shoot this down. Well, we can only fight on and make the best of it. It's a setback. It's a rough setback when you're on a time limit, but hopefully we can recover from it. I'll leave a lot of these on their cities in order to recover. The ones that aren't on cities, just do what little you can. And delay this guy's capturing, for example. Any little bit of damage you can do. Can't quite get in there. The more I think about this, the more I'm slightly regretting not using Sensei, but Like I said, let's do the best we can with what we've got for this attempt. Plenty of lessons we can learn even if we fail. Meanwhile, Colin. How am I at 40 minutes already? Oh my goodness. I didn't realize I'd already taken that long. Well, I knew this would be a long mission. Let's sacrifice some units to get in there and mix it up. We're going to take bad hits from the black cannons, but that wasn't much of a hit. Alright, good.
Don't underestimate me.
Don't underestimate the power of being filthy rich. Alright, and look at that. Straight from 20,000 to 30,000. That ability is so good and it charges so fast. But there's no denying that Colin's units are not the most impressive. There's just a lot of them. Alright, mediums everywhere. Spam them! Spam them! I guess that'll do. Not a bad turn. Hold up. Okay, yep, that'll be fine then. You foolishly brought no anti-air to fight the air specialist, Sturm. I mean, there's this, but it's really lagging. It's going to take it a while to join the fight. So in the meantime, I'm just going to do whatever I want to your units, and you can't do anything about it, you idiot. Alright, you capture this. I guess you start making your way to the front line. Oh, and yeah, this transport chopper. Start making your way down here. We've used about a quarter of our time so far. I think I might want to start rushing those black cannons soon, after I've repelled Sturm's initial assault. I'll turn my defense into a counterattack. Okay, sure. You do that. And that's fine. I don't really care. In fact, that's what it's there for. You're so easily baited, Sturm. You call yourself, what was it? War incarnate, carnage incarnate. Oh, where'd that fighter come from? That wasn't so good. And here I was saying that he hadn't brought anything to handle Eagle's Air Force. Let's see. Really is a shame that I let her take that laser to the face. That was pretty dumb. I thought about it, and I knew I was gonna forget. I sure did. And her whole army just ate it. Yeah, let's just keep healing them up. And keep on building the spam. Oh, I need to capture this too. Situation in the west looks okay. Let's go deal with this thing. Oh boy, that Neo tank though. Well, a bunch of mediums should deal with it. Wow. Don't underestimate Neo tanks, I guess. That's better. Colin kind of seems like the sort of military character you'd find in a Professor Layton game or something. Gives me those kind of vibes. I mean that in a entirely complimentary way, of course. Yes, medium tank spam. And a light tank. Behold the power of Colin to just endlessly churn out cheap crap. It never ceases to amaze. By the way, I'm gonna try to do this in one video, even if it's really long. I think that would be fun. If it goes a long time and I fail, then it will be multiple videos. My next try will be in a separate video. Not much I can do about that fighter, sadly. I can build an anti-air, though. I can do that. But it is gonna possibly shoot down one of my bombers first, which is a shame. Or I can tempt it into shooting down this transport heli. I like that plan. Oh no, we're about to get meteor striked too. Where do I have the thickest concentration of expensive units? Maybe there with all of Colin's tanks.
What happened back in Cosmoland will never happen again. Face your demise.
Or it could be that cluster right there, because bombers are expensive. Also, what's that? A little bitter about your previous defeat, Sturm? Oh, there's another one coming. Okay, it is the tanks. Ow. Ow. That did hurt. No denying it. Alright, it did its job of being a distraction. as did that one. And that one, Sturm, you fool. So much better to lose that than a bomber. Oh, that meteor strike just made things a lot more dire to the west. Ugh. Not feeling great about this attempt. Partly because I just accidentally had Sammy's army sitting in the line of fire of that laser. Ugh, that was not good. That was nothing. Oh, his units are buffed because he used his power. Okay, right. At least her units are mostly healed. In fact, yeah, her army's basically recovered, so maybe time to start a massive forward push. Now going straight up the middle kind of sounds like a bad plan because of this thing. Let's see, it struck first at 23 days, and that strikes every 7 days, so the next one will be at 17. That's in like 4 turns. Yeah, we'd eat it in the face while we were trying to fight that. So you know what we're going to do? We're actually going to go around to either side. Just start a massive infantry push. I guess those guys can afford to wait to get to full. They'll bring up the rear. We're just going to go around either side. Yeah, wow, his units are buffed. Maybe Max was a good call after all. I don't know, I shouldn't keep thinking so negatively and thinking I'm going to need to change characters before we've given it a proper try. Maybe this will work. It's happened before when I felt pessimistic and I got a perfect 300 out of 300 grade, so... we're not touching that thing while it's buffed, so... You're pretty much dead, so I guess you can attempt to retreat for repairs. Yeah, that Neo-Tank's just indestructible for the moment. Trying to play around that meteor strike is not easy to do. I can shoot down this bomber. It's not easy to... Oh, right. No, I can't because, right, his units are buffed. Oops. Alright, well, let's save that for when we have a lot of money. Because the more money you have, the more you get when you use that power. Get that fighter. Oh, dang, that buff. That buff is unbelievable. It's so strong. I should have been able to shoot it down, but nope, can hardly even scratch it. Insanity. Probably gonna lose a bomber after all then. Not a whole lot to do about it. I tried. I tried to save it. Build another anti-air. Didn't realize I'd put that bomber too far north. Wow, one-shotted. At least he's charging my CO powers. There's always a silver lining. Yep. I'm gonna have a hard time destroying that in 30 days when I've used up a third of my time and I'm just getting wrecked. Like, it's not, I'm not even pushing toward that. I'm the one getting pushed back. This is looking real bad. I think it's definitely time to turn animations off. We're already at an hour. I can't believe we're at an hour already. Oh, boy. No, go away. Gosh, Sturm is strong. I feel like my units are so gimped fighting him. What was his ability again? His passive? Plus 20 to firepower and defense. That's insane. No wonder I'm struggling so hard. Because all of his units are way too good. There's no way that's his power in multiplayer, right? He's got to be nerfed. That would be way too strong. But yeah, that's why I've felt really nerfed fighting him this entire time. It's not that I'm nerfed, it's that he's buffed. Crazily so. You're gonna need to fight that. So if this fails, I'm thinking of maybe replacing Sammy with Max after all, actually. I think that Max's buffed direct combat units could be really helpful in this scenario. And other than that, probably keep the other two COs, but yeah, sorry Sammy, but once again, if I fail, I think it might be because you were not the right choice this time. Sammy certainly doesn't seem like one of the stronger COs. I mean, if she can do a capture op, then she's like the best CO for that. Or if you're in a situation where infantry spam is really good. But outside of those two scenarios, she certainly doesn't strike me as one of the stronger COs. Let's use his power. Show me the money. What the heck? Why? I know it's a light versus a Neo tank, but good lord. Sturm's buffs are just too good. Gosh, maybe Colin's not a good choice just because he cannot scratch Sturm's units. Look at this. He can't even scratch them. Oh my goodness. This is never gonna work. This is never going to work. Look at this. We're not gonna turn this around in time. I think we can all see that. Okay, yeah, this is a disaster. I know when I'm beat. I don't think we need to spend another hour watching the inevitable defeat. Okay, so what did we learn? We learned that Sturm's buffed units... I may have to replace Colin after all, because Sturm's units are too strong. Colin can't scratch them. Doesn't matter how much cheap crap you can churn out if it just can't even damage the enemy's units. So I may have to swap Colin out too. I think I'm going to replace Sammy with Max. I think Max will be good for this. Eagle's probably still a good one. Just for sending buffed bombers in, and the lightning strike could be really good. Kanbei could fight toe-to-toe with these powerful units, so I might want to do the exact opposite of Colin's loads of cheap crap and make a few powerful units that can actually fight Sturm's units on equal terms. So I'm considering replacing my lineup with Max, Kanbei, and keeping Eagle. But I'm going to think about that. In any case, I'm going to call this episode here. I'm going to call this a failed attempt. If we didn't have the time limit, we could probably do this eventually, but we're not getting this done in 20 days. So, next time we try this with a different strategy. Hopefully you'll join me for that, and I'll see you then.